Good morning, everybody. TGIF, Trade Geeks is Friday. Today's September 5th, 2025. And today's hot topic is the continuing tariff tug of war. The executive or Congress, right? I think that's what is on everybody's mind. Most of the calls we received this week have been relating to what ifs, what's going to happen. What is the promise right now? Uncertainty. I think that's the underlying word or key word here is that everybody's uncertain as to what's going to happen. And for business, that's not good because we can't plan, right? We can't invest. So we'll see how it turns out here. So a quick recap. Basically, the Court of International Trade on May 28th ruled that the tariffs were unconstitutional and basically that the executive branch exceeded their authority. And then it was immediately appealed. And then on August 29th, the appellate court ruled the same thing. They kind of backed up the Court of International Trade and they said that the president overstepped his authority and didn't have the authority to implement tariffs. So now the current situation is that the president is asking the Supreme Court to hear the ruling. So now it's in the Supreme Court's court, and the ball's in their court, and they have to decide whether they want to hear it at all or they're going to push it back to the CIT. Now, important to mention here is that the Court of International Trade has exclusive jurisdiction over customs and international trade matters. So I think both the appellate court and the Supreme Court could just kick it back to the Court of International Trade. Now, what could be some of the cause and effect? I think, the dangerous is that it's more uncertainty. That's for sure. My personal thoughts are that no matter what the ruling is, if the president did overstep his bounds, right, and he didn't have the authority, and it is declared unconstitutional with finality, then what is there next to do? What is left next there to do? And that is for the Congress to take up the reins here and do, their job and either ratify the tariffs, come up with a proposal on the tariffs, or come up with some kind of a resolution. So I think we'll see a lot of hearings, and I think it'll be up for discussion. And then I think ultimately the Congress will probably ratify the tariffs in some way, shape, or form. And I think that we've seen here in the marketplace, in the stock market, under the securities, everybody's talking about it, and they're saying that now the market seem to like the tariffs. The government needs that extra revenue. We have a debt crisis here in this country. So I don't know. Will the tariffs stay here for long term? I think in some form they will. So again, the uncertainty is the unfortunate part of the situation, and we'll just have to do our best. As we've discussed in our previous videos, back even from last year when the discussions were first coming up, even before the conclusion of the election in November, we talked about these tariffs, and I felt anyway personally, that the Section 232, the 201, and the 301 were existing mechanisms that already existed to implement these, and that I like the Section 232. I think the Section 232, the 201 are a little bit advantageous because the president can be company specific, right? I think this shotgun approach to me has not been a good manufacturing policy. We can't help our U.S. manufacturers if we're making the cost of their inputs go sky up, right, to increase their cost of production. So is it a manufacturing policy? Maybe not. Maybe it's a geopolitical policy. Now, strategically, yes, we need some help. I could see the strategic help for like the steel, the aluminum, the copper, very select industries. So that's what the Section 232 exists for, right? And who's in charge of the Section 232? The CIT, the Court of International Trade. So I think we're set up here for a long battle, a lot of hearings, and we'll see how it goes. And I would just like to point out that here at TradeFlex, we have been on the forefront of dealing and mitigating these tariffs for our clients. I think that we have been nimble and we have been quick. And that's been one of our advantages and core competencies is our 30 years of experience. So here, through the regulatory intelligence by TradeFlex, we've been very successful in helping navigate our customers through the complexity of all this going on. So don't forget to reach out to us. Don't forget to check out our website, www.trade-flex.com. And everybody, I wish everybody a nice weekend, and we hope there's a good conclusion for everybody on these tariffs. Bye.